Hi, my name's Matt Barr, and welcome to my slideshow presentation on when and why raw food diets do and don't work. So first I'd like to start by addressing the question of why they do work. The answer to this question exists in the benefits that I outlined in my previous slideshow presentation on the pros and cons of a raw food diet. Watch this slideshow presentation if you would like to understand why. So to kick off this slideshow, let's first look at why they do work. And the answer to this really is in the benefits that I've outlined in my previous slideshow, the pros and cons of a raw food diet. If you haven't already watched this slideshow, you'll definitely benefit from doing so. So as a quick summary to that, let's look at those main benefits that I outlined. The first benefit is that they contain more nutrients. They contain more enzymes. Raw food has greater levels of antioxidants and phytonutrients contained within them. By focusing on a raw food diet, you'll reduce the intake of rancid fats that are very harmful to health, as well as your intake of denatured proteins, so proteins that are damaged by processing and heat. You'll find that raw food is more suited to the human biological makeup, and it can also improve the health of your digestive, immune, hormonal and detoxification systems that really make up your experience of health. A further benefit not on this list is that you'll also reduce your intake of free radicals, which are also very harmful to the body. So as a result of all of these benefits, you'll see significant improvements in your health, a reduction in any ill health symptoms and any physical degeneration that takes place. As I mentioned a moment ago, if you watched my slideshow, the pros and cons of a raw food diet, then you'll understand these benefits in much greater detail and why they're so important. So now I'd like to turn my attention to why raw food diets don't work. A raw food diet won't work for everybody. As much as it has a great many benefits, can actually make you feel more unwell than when you started in the first place. Now for some, this could become immediately apparent, and for others, these ill health issues could arise over a much longer period of time. Then of course there might be other people who actually don't experience any negative effects of raw foods and only positive experiences. Now there are many reasons why such problems will arise, and they certainly don't do so by accident, and I will cover these in just a moment. Now some raw foodists will argue that the initial stages of feeling unwell, which many people that undergo or adopt raw food diets experience, can be due to a couple of reasons. One is the time it takes for the body to adapt to any new diet, and the second reason given is because of detoxification symptoms. Now the detoxification symptoms occur as a result of an improved function within the cells of the body, which can result from these dietary improvements that are made, and the cells are now able to excrete any toxins a lot more effectively. Now these toxins can then build up in the body's circulatory and lymphatic systems, as the liver and the other detoxification organs are unable to keep up with the increased demand placed on them by the improved cellular detoxification. And obviously as a result of that, these toxins start to overflow and load up within the body. You can liken this effect to trying to fit more garbage into a dustbin when it's already full. Until you start emptying it at the same rate at which you're filling it, then there's always going to be an overspill. As the health and function of the detoxification organs improves, what we'll find is an improvement in the ability of the body or the organs to eliminate toxins. Common detoxification symptoms will include headaches, low energy, and many flu-like symptoms. Now, these two explanations of detoxification adaptation are no doubt true for some people, but in other instances there can be actually far deeper reasons as to why someone may not feel particularly well or experience drops in energy or the like when following a raw food diet. I would suggest that there are two other explanations, both of which can help explain why someone may experience either longer term ill effects or even shorter term ill effects. So these two other explanations can be classified as in two areas. One is individual variance in biochemical and nutritional requirements, and also in your current state of digestive health. Now I'll attempt to explain these two areas in much greater depth throughout the remainder of this slideshow. So the first area to look at is individual variance in biochemical and nutritional requirements. Whilst you may be a human being, you are in fact quite unique. And in the same way that no two people look the same, or even think the same, no two people have the same size organ, have the same hormonal levels, enzyme levels, or any other physiological characteristic. What this means in terms of our nutritional requirements is that they'll also be quite unique. Consequently, the same food that can have a very different effect on two different people. One man's food is another man's poison, as they say. There are numerous factors that determine this, but it essentially comes down to differences that exist within our physiology. So the metabolism that you have is determined by a host of factors, including your genetics, your exposure or use of medical or recreational drugs, your diet, your nutrition, any nutritional supplements you may use, your exercise routine or not, your lifestyle choices, and even how you think and relate to the world and the people around you. All of these have a big impact on the type of metabolism that you have. And as a result of that, what it all means in terms of your nutritional and dietary needs is that there is simply no one way of eating that will work for everybody. Now this is one reason why a raw food diet won't work well for one person, or may work well for one